The Chicago Bears are standing at the edge of a new era as training camp rapidly approaches. But before we get swept up in rookie hype, depth chart battles, and preseason excitement, there's an offseason reality worth revisiting, and it says a lot about where this team stood just a year ago. Let's rewind and take a hard look at the Bears' 2023 roster. When the offseason began, many fans and analysts believed Chicago had a promising foundation. Yet, the free agency market painted a very different picture. Players once seen as core contributors either left quietly, signed underwhelming contracts, or remain unsigned even now. Take Teven Jenkins, for example. Once projected to earn upwards of $40 million over 3 years, he signed a modest one-year, $3 million deal with the Browns, and he's not even expected to start. Why? Injuries. Despite his talent, Jenkins' career has been plagued by health setbacks going back to college. Even last season, though he played in 14 games, he participated in fewer than two-thirds of the total offensive snaps. A player with such a limited on-field presence simply doesn't command top-tier value. Coleman Shelton, on the other hand, landed the most lucrative deal of any departing Bears player, a 2-year, $12 million contract with $9 million guaranteed from the Los Angeles Rams. That's respectable, but still hardly headline-making. Shelton is likely to start, but even that's not guaranteed. Then there's Jack Sanborn. Once viewed as a gritty linebacker with high upside, Sanborn was let go despite signing a veteran minimum deal with the Dallas Cowboys. It's shocking, especially since Sanborn joined former Bears head coach Matt Eberflus in Dallas. But again, the Bears prioritize speed and athleticism, and Sanborn just didn't fit their evolving defensive profile. Other names follow similar trends. Dandre Swift, Jacob Martin, Larry Borom, and even Keenan Allen all either signed modest deals or are still searching for a team. The league seems to be sending a clear message. Chicago's 2023 roster was not as strong as many believe. Before we dive into the latest news, make sure to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. We've got a lot of Bears content coming your way all season long. Let's move on to the next section, where we break down what this all means for the Bears in 2025. So what does this offseason tell us about the Chicago Bears as they prepare for 2025? First, it reveals just how badly last season underperformed. Even players who played key roles in 2023, like defensive lineman Darrell Taylor or wide receiver DeAndre Carter, couldn't land significant contracts. Darrell Taylor, who had a promising debut in Week 1, signed with the Texans for $4.75 million, a decent number, but still far from what you'd expect from a top-tier pass rusher. Jacob Martin, who showed flashes late in the season, ended up with the Commanders for just $2.5 million. Larry Borom went to the Dolphins for a similar figure despite a rough year. Matt Pryor, who admirably filled in when needed, signed a cheap deal with the Eagles and is unlikely to start. The pattern is consistent and clear. Even more telling are the names that remain unsigned. Keenan Allen, once thought to be a pivotal piece of the Bears' receiving core, is still on the market. Gerald Everett, brought in with high hopes, is also teamless. DeMarcus Walker, Nate Davis, Mercedes Lewis, all unsigned. The NFL isn't exactly lining up to bring in last year's Bears. This brings us to a difficult truth. Chicago likely overestimated the talent on their roster. It wasn't just bad coaching or ineffective schemes. Many of these players, when set free into the open market, found little to no demand. Even those still in Chicago underperformed. DJ Moore was solid but didn't eclipse expectations. Jalen Johnson had a down year by his standards. Keenan Allen had his worst statistical season. Teven Jenkins couldn't stay healthy. And very few players had what could be called a career year. Still, there's reason for hope. The Bears have made meaningful additions, particularly on the offensive line, and have injected the locker room with new coaching energy. If this revamped group can perform up to its potential, Chicago may finally move past the dark cloud of last season. Stick around, because in the final section, we'll explore what this means for the team's identity, future strategy, and the role fans play in shaping expectations. The silence and free agency surrounding former Bears players isn't just about them. It's about how the team is viewed across the league. Chicago is in a delicate position, stuck between the optimism of a new regime and the shadow of a failed rebuild. But there's opportunity in that. Head coach Matt Eberflus is gone. A new front office has recalibrated priorities. Draft capital has been wisely invested. And perhaps most importantly, a cultural reset is underway. Still, this new identity can only flourish if the Bears take the lessons of last year to heart. For too long, this team clung to players based on potential rather than performance. The 2023 roster is a case study in overestimation. Players expected to lead ended up dragging the team down, either through injuries, inconsistency, or simply lack of top-tier talent. Moving forward, Chicago needs to be ruthless in evaluation. The bar must be raised. If a player isn't meeting expectations, the Bears can no longer afford to wait and hope. Swift, strategic decisions must become the norm. The fan base, too, plays a role. The passion in Chicago is unmatched, but expectations must align with reality. Supporting this team means being honest about where it stands and demanding accountability at every level. So as we count down the days to training camp, the 2025 Bears are a team caught in transformation. The past year was a mirror, and the reflection wasn't pretty. But with the right moves, clearer evaluations, and leadership that understands the urgency, this franchise can turn the corner. This offseason serves as a wake-up call not just for the Chicago Bears, but for everyone watching. It tells a story of missed potential, overvaluation, and the harsh truths of NFL business. But it also opens the door for something greater. With a new coaching staff, promising young talent, and a fan base ready to embrace change, the Bears have a chance to write a new chapter, one defined by growth, discipline, and results. If the team can commit to its new identity, hold players accountable, and build a culture of winning, Chicago could surprise the league in 2025. It won't be easy, but nothing worth doing ever is. Keep your eyes on Hollis Hall. Something new is building there. And remember, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and hit the bell icon so you're always in the loop with breaking Bears updates. Now it's your turn. If you could bring back just one of the players who left or is still unsigned, who would it be? Drop your pick in the comments below. And as always, bear down.